that's really fast.
Hello. Do you feel like I'm looking down on you? Well, I might go for a walk in an hour or 20 minutes or something. I don't know if it fucking depends on the mosquitoes. I'm feeling lonely. I'm feeling sad. So far being in a relationship sucks. It sucks. So I felt like going for a walk. I'm not sure anyone's gonna hurt me, but I don't think so. I mean, I think I can basically put myself in the most vulnerable positions, and no one's gonna do that. I don't think I'd expect Dance Girl would join. I think she would be afraid. And I'm a bit afraid to even go out by myself. It's been quite a long time, and it's raining out, and so I'm thinking of taking the umbrella. But I'm pretty sad so far. Pretty sad. I've been refraining from watching porn, and I've been quite embarrassed to jack off. Feeling like my handler is an insane psychopath, and it makes me feel disgusting to be watched by them. I wonder if it's a woman. And, well, it wouldn't matter if they didn't torture me. I don't even think of them as worth calling a human. And so if they're watching me, no big deal. But the fact that they are torturing me based on everything I do, even when I jack off, I know they might do something just to remind me or just to fuck with me. And I also feel a bit embarrassed having trauma jacks to Dance Girl, feeling like I'm kind of stuck here, like she doesn't really like me, or like she doesn't really treat me well, and I'm here like wanting to watch porn, wanting to think of other people, but I can't because I'm in a relationship, and I don't necessarily feel like I'm even valued. And I suddenly feel like this must be what marriage feels like. Like you get no reward and you get every punishment. That being said, I folded Dance Girl's clothes, and I felt a sense of sentimental warmth doing that. Caring for her clothes made me feel a sense of sentimental warmth. And I've basically not really had much to talk about tonight. I asked the gang stalkers for help. Just in general, there's no emergency. I asked in a very light way because we were going through these pictures of dicks, my cousin and mom and I. And it reminded me that Dance Girl showed up on a date with her cousins, and then she called me a cousin fucker. And she showed up on another date with a child, and then she called me a Teletubby fucker. And I was like, okay. But I was on the phone with my cousin and my mom tonight, and they went through this $20 Playgirl magazine, and the Playboys were only 10. And there was only 2 pictures of naked guys, and they both had flaccid dicks. And Helen was like, what's up with that? And I was like, yeah, I know. When I was however old, we were at China, aka Everything Bargain Convenience, where she locked my mom in the store to prevent her from stealing, I guess, when she went out for a minute. And I saw a Playgirl or some kind of magazine, and the guy's dick was flaccid. And I was like, what the fuck is this? And Helen was talking about this, how she sees this guy's flaccid dick in this porn, in this Playgirl, and she's like, what the fuck is this? She had the same reaction. And I was like, I had that reaction too. Why would they put flaccid dicks in porn? Apparently it's what women like. Some guys are growers, some guys are showers. When I went to the nude beach with some people, I was really embarrassed that I'm neither a grower or a shower. So I tried to compensate by jacking it underneath the water and then coming out nude with a bigger dong. And, my friends were like, wow, you got a big dong. And I'm like, yeah. And meanwhile, it was just that I had jacked it, I didn't come, but so anyway, I said, if you're a gang stalker and you are someone who watches me naked and you enjoy that and you'd like to pay me in any sort of way, the way that you could pay me is if it doesn't harm you in any way, if you could help convince my handler that it's a bad idea to harm me. And, I'm not saying this is like, you really ought to do this. You owe it to me to do this. Okay, I'm not saying you owe me anything. Unless you watch me for pleasure. In that case, you kind of do. And in that case, if you don't help me in any way, I feel kind of taken advantage by you. And so if you could try to convince my handler that being an insane psychopath who uses me for sexual pleasure, which makes me feel disgusting, is a bad idea. Now, I have a hunch that many people are in agreement with this and think that gang stalking should be transformed into a legitimate government. That gang stalking already is the one world government, and it should be turned into a legitimate government. And we're doing this through multiple facets, such as China and Russia and Pakistan giving Iran a nuke, and such as when I was going through the Freshco till and I had my 6-pack of Coca-Cola from Shoppers with the receipt in my bag, and the girl takes the Coke out and she charges me for it. And I say, that's my Coke. And she's insistent that it's not my Coke. And I say, yes, it is. And there's a fucking receipt in the bag, and she doesn't even look for the receipt. I think she may have charged me for it too. I was so flustered that I wasn't even paying attention to what she was doing anymore. I just said, yeah, just here's a $20 bill. I'm not even looking at the change. But she insisted over and over. She was nasty. And then the next time I went there was a gang stalker, and I'm pretty sure it was her at her till again. And he made a big scene out of ripping the bag away, making a big scene to be very rude to her. And it wasn't like street theater. It was you could tell he was genuinely angry. And I've had gang stalkers help me before, even before my family sided with me. Because presumably my mom's boyfriend is a handler, or someone in his family is a handler, and has helped convince my handler that harming me is a bad idea. And this has helped very much, but I'm suspicious that I'm talking to many people who are in agreement that using gang stalking as a method of sex trafficking is not a legitimate way of using it. And even though it's designed for that, it's being transformed by everyone is involved. If you get in a car accident or if you commit suicide, that's not a matter of public record, which means that the gang stalking institution has the right to execute your children, which means that they can recruit anyone. And so they've recruited the entire world, and they've been chased out of 110 countries, and they don't really have anywhere to run anymore. And through multiple facets, we can transform gang stalking into a legitimate form of government, which I think everyone agrees that using gang stalking as a form of sex trafficking and snuff is not a good idea. And when you have a handler who's an insane psychopath, merely telling them this doesn't affect them at all. They have a boomer rot brain. But I have a feeling it's more than that. I was saying that I could be guaranteed that a beautiful woman would not be my handler, because a beautiful woman would not be treated so badly by men that she would want to kill men, and that she would take that much sadistic and sexual pleasure in tormenting someone. And I would also think that my handler could not be that young, because to be as perverted and calloused as they are, they would have had to have been marinating in their own shit for quite a long time. It takes a long time to get that fucked up. So I could almost guarantee that my handler is old and ugly. Whether it's a guy or girl, it doesn't matter. You could say it's more egregious either way in some capacities. And there's no ability for me to communicate with them. So that's why I ask in fucking a light tone. I'm not trying to put any responsibility on you. We are not responsible for anyone except ourselves. And I'm merely saying that if you enjoy my content in the shower and on the toilet and in my bed, and if you enjoy my body, if you enjoy how I look, if you enjoy my candor and my cadence and my fucking demeanor, and you'd like to pay me in any way, the way that you can pay me and acknowledge that my life has value, and that you like the fact that I'm alive, you like the fact that I'm living and here, and that you can watch me, and you'd like me to feel appreciated, you could help my handler know that it's a bad idea to use me for their sexual pleasure. And I mean, I think that's a fair request. I think it's not too heavy. It's not like, oh, you gotta help me and fuck you. Please just donate. Don't skip the video. Watch it 5 times. Spread the word. Just please. I don't feel like I'm asking for charity whatsoever. I'm just like, if you think I'm on Playgirl, if you think I'm a 6'2" tall, cute guy with a nice personality, dated hot girls, fucked hot girls, have good relationships with my family, if you get good feelings and emotions off me, if you enjoy watching this, all I ask, if that it doesn't harm you, and I would never want you to do anything that gets you harmed because I'd feel guilty, if you could find a safe way to help convince my handler that torturing me, sleep depriving me, doing all kinds of nonsense to me is a bad idea, that would really help me. That would really please me. And I'm asking for even more than what I would deserve if I was simply just a TI. I'm saying, as a favor to me, would you give me the luxury treatment? I'm saying, would you actually give me the luxury treatment so that I actually can feel like I'm not a TI, so that they really can't do anything. If I get one phone call, they get 20, or they get 1. It doesn't have to be disproportionate, but if I get woken up, they get woken up. If something happens to me, something happens to them. If there's any possible way you could do this would fucking please me. And I have a feeling that most people would agree, and it might just take a while. I wrote this note that said, when you're starving in the desert and someone offers you a glass of water and you're a king and you have millions and billions of dollars, and you'll say, I'll give you anything, I'll give you half my kingdom, the person would then say, give me your entire kingdom and you can have the glass of water. I feel like I want the entire kingdom. I feel like these people are rascals and whoever they are, they're rascals and they're insane psychopaths. I was saying that a fucking non-insane psychopath would be better. It would be much, much better if I had just a pure psychopath who's not insane. That would be very, very nice for me. If I had an insane person who's not a psychopath, that would also be very, very nice for me. But unfortunately, I've gotten an insane psychopath. And that's pretty fucking rough. So my goal is that over the next year or 2 or 5, I can work out, get a hot body, and have more women or people who are sympathetic to my case and who would like to give me the luxury treatment. If I've helped you in any way, if I've given you information about cancer or viruses or spirituality or anything, if I make you laugh, if you get a good feeling when you watch my videos, and you can help me in any possible way to stop the torture, that would make me feel wonderful. Oftentimes I feel very degraded and demeaned. I have a shower, and I think there are probably many women watching who I personally do not like, who I would not have sex with, and who I am grossed out by feeling used by them, just in the same way that they would be if someone put a hidden camera in their wall outlet, or if they found out that there was a hidden camera in the outhouse that they used. They would feel absolutely horrified and disgusted. And I often feel like I'm being sex trafficked by many people. In a strange way, I feel like many people are spying on me for pleasure. I was looking at all these guys' dicks on Reddit to send my mom and cousin some pictures of dicks, which they're going to go print out at Walmart. And I mean, they didn't even know how to do it. They're like, how do I do it? I'm like, you just search on Google dick. And they're like, it's all blurred. And I'm like, you have to search safe search off. Because they're decorating my cousin's room. They're getting married or something. And they're going to decorate it with dick pics. And I was looking at all these dicks, and I thought, I got a pretty nice dick. Mine is like really nice. And so, well, it doesn't really fucking bother me that much. Let me just say that. If you're someone who watches me and you don't torture me, it doesn't really bother me that you watch me. But if you don't help me in any way, it makes me feel kind of used. I think you would agree that if you do sex work for free, that's like sex trafficking. But at the same time, if you just watch me and you don't harm me, that really doesn't harm me. You know, you say, well, it's a victimless crime because I'm not even aware of it anyways. But I kind of infer that it's happening. And it makes me feel very used. It makes me feel like people don't really care about me. But at the same time, I actually do feel like people care about me. I really do. And I don't really feel like the majority of people are sex trafficking me, including the people who watch me naked. There are many people who watch me naked who I think, great. I'm totally happy for it. And it doesn't offend me at all. For example, my friend Travis, or my dad. But my friend Travis, for example, if he were to watch me naked, I would think, I already am you. I already know you inside and out. I already would... I would put my house in your name if you asked. I would trust you with my life. And I would jump across a mountain for you, and I would swim the shark-infested waters. And, well, anyways, I do think that a lot of women do give me back value. They do give me back things that say, I appreciate this. I really fucking appreciate this. And they, I assume, give me this back by preventing the torture. I think that my mom's boyfriend or someone in his family is a powerful handler, and she has requested that he or someone prevent my handler from doing excessive amounts of harm to me. And yet, the time at Freshco would, and other times where gang stalkers were very nice to me before my family ever took my side, would lead me to believe that many gang stalkers are, in fact, helping me in as many ways as they can. And I think to get more and more help, all I need to do is be more and more awesome and make more and more people like me, and maybe even do push-ups and try and get more and more hot so that I can get girls and guys liking me and helping me. And what I want isn't ridiculous. I don't want like $1 zillion, and all I just want is to be able to live like a normal person without being terrorized and harassed and sexually assaulted and sleep deprived. So far, they can't dribble basketballs outside. Now, one interesting thing, when the guy dressed like Dance Girl, who looked like TSD, was walking across the train tracks going to Food Basics with an Indian guy behind him, not really sure what his role was. He could have been... Well, I don't really know what his role was. But the TSD lookalike had white sunglasses. Normally, the TSDs wear black sunglasses. The TSD side of those people, they always wear white sunglasses. They always wear black sunglasses. Why was he wearing white sunglasses? Was it symbolizing that he was going to heaven? That he was crossing the train tracks? And why was he wearing dance girl style clothes? He was wearing the exact same thing the dance girl was wearing, a white tank top and blue jeans. And the previous time I had seen Dance Girl, she was wearing blue jeans and a blue coat, as if she was wearing TSD's coat. Was she saying that she had stolen TSD's coat and that she disapproves of TSD? And did TSD send that TSD lookalike dressed like Dance Girl to say that he's sending her to heaven? I really don't know. Pretty confusing for me sometimes. But it's about 2:10 in the morning. I'm just charging my phone. Thank God it works. And I haven't been out for a walk in a long time. So I might go for a late night walk, which will be fun. I do feel quite lonely. That I can't go for a walk with Dance Girl. Why can't I? Well, I think she thinks that... I'm not sure, really. I don't know why she would say she loves me and then not go for a walk with me. Pretty weird. But I've decided to stick it out for a month, and hopefully this will help me with women too. That women will say, you're a really stand-up guy. You don't cheat on your girlfriend. You stick by her. And when you're sad and lonely, you gossip about it to the other women. And you say, my God, she doesn't treat me very well. What do you think? Pretty horrible, huh? And then they stop listening. They go, yeah, we've heard that before. And I'm like, yeah, I know. I've heard it before too. But actually, truthfully, today is the first day I felt sad in a relationship. In my relationship with Dance Girl. Today is the first day where I've felt like a housewife who the husband, he's always out at work and he never comes home. And I feel like I'm being avoided. I feel like I'm not really cared about and like she wants to avoid me. And so I feel lonely, therefore. I remind myself of Elizabeth from Group. You know, her husband's out on tour. He's a musician. He's always gone. He's always out of the house. And what does she have to do? Just, hang out with me? Something like that? And tell me about her husband. Now he's always out of town for a long time, all day. I had a dream about her and she's telling me to look at her pussy while I was coming in it. And then all of a sudden her husband got home. And I was like, remembering my grandma, she said, beware of the bipolars because they're the killers. I was like, okay. I know. But anyways, I was like, okay. I don't think her husband has bipolar, but she does. And that's a way of getting someone killed too. I had some mulligatawny soup. I felt quite embarrassed that my handler saw me jack off a couple times. I didn't want her to assert her or his morality on me for that. To say that I must be jacking off to Dance Girl and therefore I owe Dance Girl something. I felt like my invasion of privacy is very hurtful to me. And at the same time, I thought without consequence, merely just having this person watch me is completely irrelevant. And I don't think this person is self-aware in any sense. I think they're completely insane. Obviously, as Dave Chappelle says, when you call someone insane, you basically discredit their entire argument. And I would like to point out that before calling them insane, I've discredited their entire argument. I've done this very thoroughly. And so now when I call them insane, it's not a cheat method to discredit their argument. It's just a plain observation that they're psychopathic and predatory. Now I wondered if Dance Girl's a psychopath, in which case I'd insist that she not be insane. You know, for example, bringing her cousins to a date and then calling me a cousin fucker for not going on the date. Or breaking my boundaries by showing up surprise on a date and then accusing me of breaking her boundaries by standing her up. That I broke her trust, that her boundary is that she needs trust. She needs to trust that I'm going to talk to her when she's there, but yet she can break my boundary and just surprise me in the exact way I said I didn't want it to be. And I think this is clearly insane. Like, marry me or else you're a terrorist pedophile. Marry me and you're not, but if you don't, well then you are. I think this is clearly insane. Well, you don't want to go on a date with me and my cousins? It means you want to fuck your cousin. I think this is clearly insane. I don't know if someone hurt her. I don't know if it was just what happened with me, or if someone hurt her before when she was younger and she has I don't know, that she's predatory and abusive. I try to be sympathetic. I try to be compassionate. And I'm sorry, this is heavy. I don't mean to be so calloused talking about something so heavy. But she basically raped me. And this was like years ago. But it's been a pretty consistent trend of behavior. And I'd like to believe that she's not insane and that she could logically understand that She's accusing me of the things that she's doing and that she's projecting. And at the same time, I feel like she is not someone who it would be easy for me to just discard. Although I'm sad here, I feel lonely. I feel like if I went for a walk, she would not join me. I am happy. Doesn't this seem so fake? I'm willing and I'm happy to still be her boyfriend. Well, I'm sure you've been able to relate that you're completely unhappy in your situation, but take it away and you're really unhappy. That your drug doesn't make you feel better, but to not have it makes you feel way worse. And I don't like this. This does not feel good. Now, I'm not saying I'm about to walk away. I'm going to give this another month. Lots of things change on a day-to-day basis, and I've been jacking off a whole bunch. So I'm kind of fucked up about this. I feel bad, like I'm just here to call her a rapist. And like I already did that earlier. And now I'm just torturing her. Well, maybe I am. I'm not perfect. I'm not claiming I'm Osho. I want to be, but I'm not. And for every moment that I'm stuck here lonely by myself, not allowed to jack off to other people, partially because I want to show that I'm a good boyfriend, that I'm a good person, so that if we break up, and if she punishes me for that, and if she calls me a cousin fucker, terrorist, and says I deserve to die therefore, and tortures me to death, that other people will say, you are a really good boyfriend to her. And she doesn't even have the right to do this to you, and we're going to help you protect yourself from her. Part of my motivation to be an excellent boyfriend is so that it can't bite me if we don't work out. And in the meantime, I'm lonely over here by myself, and I feel like I could make every effort, like I could go for a walk, like she's watching probably right now, and I could go for a walk right by her house with an umbrella, as someone who she trusts, as someone who loves her, who wouldn't harm her, who would share my umbrella and walk through a mosquito-less trail. And yet she wouldn't, even though she'd want to, because she's afraid. And for every moment that I have to deal with this, I feel like saying, you shouldn't have fucked up. You fucked up really bad. Do you remember? Let me remind you again. Let me just call you a rapist again. Now, at the same time, sometimes I really do wonder, maybe something really fucked up happened to her. When I jacked off, I imagined myself being her. I imagined what it would be like to force someone to watch you come with someone else. I imagined how fucking violent that is, and it got me off. And I did that twice. I thought, okay, I can't think of something else. I can't think of someone else, so let me just think of something really perverted And that's what it was. I imagined what it must be like for someone to do that. To force you to watch them come while they're fucking someone else. And to get off while looking at you and saying, I'm coming to you right now while I fuck someone else. It's like really powery. It's a real power trip. It's like, what are you going to do? You can't do anything. I'm God. I thought I couldn't imagine what it would be like to be like that. And maybe I'm really weak or soft or something. And so I would imagine, I would fantasize. They say a saint always dreams of being a Hitler. And a Hitler always dreams of being a saint. And however far you are on one side, if you're nonviolent, you'll dream of what it would be like to be a tyrant. And I felt a strange satisfaction that, what a hot fantasy. But funny enough, my orgasms were not as good as my other ones. When I was in love, or I don't know if I'm in love. Osho had a story where he went to this woman on the train who was really happy with her boyfriend. And he said, how long have you been with your lover? And she said, that's my husband. And he said, don't lie to me. That's not your husband. I know it's not your husband because you're having fun with him. And she said, yeah, you're right. Well, I was still having fun with Dance Girl before I realized how fucked up last month was. My jacks were incredible. I was shaking and twisting and turning and convulsing. And slowly it's become just a sneeze. It's just like, blah, there it is, blah. And it's more of a fantasy. It's more in my mind. More cerebral, which is not good. So maybe it's because I've just been jacking so much that I'm hungover at this point. And I just don't have the energy to be a good boyfriend. And maybe that's part of it. But how am I supposed to have the motivation to make myself stronger when I feel lonely? And when part of the reason why I feel lonely is because I'm withholding myself for her. Whereas if I wasn't, I could just start healing. Even though I wouldn't be ready for a relationship, I could start healing and at least say I'm off heroin. I think when I went to the rub and tug, there were these 3 girls who, had I asked if they were on the menu, probably a bunch of cops would have jumped in. But I thought it was pretty inappropriate that it wasn't just that they were being babysat. I've wondered if I recognized them. One of them was mulatto. There are 3 of them. Sometimes I wonder how deep this sex trafficking stuff goes. But, I mean, anyways. I really regret making this video, I think. I feel like I just came here to call Dance Girl a rapist. And I regret that. Like, it's just punishing her. I'm sorry, Dance Girl, for saying that. I suppose I feel like you have not apologized to me for calling me a rapist. And I feel hurt. Normally, I really like making videos for you. And today is the first day that I feel like a husband. I feel like I'm castrated, like I'm stuck, like I'm unloved, like I'm henpecked, like I'm controlled, and like I'm dead. And the only relief is to ejaculate. And that leaves me feeling even worse. And wanting to not ejaculate and get stronger makes me feel like it's in vain, and like you're not going to be there, and like you're not going to give me affection and love, and I'm going to be giving my love to someone who doesn't deserve it. And sometimes I feel like you've already broken up with me, and I'm going to have to wait an entire month to find out at the very end that I just was deceived the entire month. Or like I'm going to be tortured and punished. And like a fool, I'll be thinking it must be coming from someone else. Will I go on loving you wholeheartedly? Or now, incapable of that, it seems. I don't think I'm half-heartedly loving you. I just feel like I don't have the capacity to love anymore, to some extent. I mean, obviously, I enjoyed folding your clothes. Obviously, or perhaps not obviously, I have reverence for your clothes. They remind me of you. If you were to be harmed, or if you were to kill yourself, or if you were to have emotional difficulties, if you were to be abused, if someone is abusing you, that would bother me. I considered that giving me your bus pass with your name on it got you abused by someone, that someone said that wasn't allowed and someone punished you for that. And then I thought, well, why would anyone care? Why would you care? Not that why would you care if you were abused, but why would you care to even help me? That if you had to make any sacrifice, if giving me your name and your bus pass was something that would harm you, that someone would punish you for doing that, why would you even do that when you make no sacrifice for me whatsoever? And you have a history of hurting me and abusing me. So, therefore, your giving me your bus pass wasn't your sacrifice. Perhaps giving me your bus pass meant I'm supposed to take the bus. But I don't think so, because then you wouldn't give me your clothes as well. So it really confuses me, this TSD with white sunglasses. I guess I'm afraid of that you'll abandon me again. And that you already have. And partially, or entirely, that's why I'm saying, are you a psychopath or are you insane? Because I want you to be one or the other. If you're both, that's too much. And so I feel like I'm trying to sabotage it now. I'm trying to drive you away. But I hope you see through that. I hope you'll say that's not my true intent. And that instead I'm angry. I'm angry that you haven't apologized and that you owe me a much bigger apology. Now, I know that a lot of the most fucked up stuff you did, you were very young. But your gestalt has stayed the same. Well, with the exception of you're nicer now. I don't mean to be looking a gift horse in the mouth. But it confuses me why you gave me this gift this month. Why you dumped me all month. Harassed me all month. Tortured me all month. And then suddenly you were nice. Was this a trauma bond thing? Like, torture someone and then give them a little reassurance? And then I could expect the next cycle is going to be torture, abandonment, trafficking, and then something nice, and I got to suffer, live in delusion or denial that is so horrible that I can't even acknowledge it or admit it. And then after I jack off and I get some clarity, I say, holy fuck, what just happened? I heard an audio hallucination that said I'm single now because you've left me. And then I thought, have I left you? Am I simply apathetic to you? Is there simply no love left that I'm capable of giving you anymore? That it's not my choice? That love is not a choice? That I can choose to control my behavior. I can choose to not jack off to other people. I can choose to go for a walk and invite you to come, but I can't choose to love you because that only happens based on how you treat me. And I'm all out of love. I got no love in my soul left for you. That's how it feels. Sometimes. Like it's gone. Like it's just stolen. And like I don't have any left for anyone. I worry about you sometimes. And I think I'm projecting. That I worry about myself. And that you're doing fine. And that you don't really give a fuck. And that it's me who's fucked up. It's me who needs help. It's me who's abandoned. So yeah, I feel like a husband now. I feel like I have no dick. And like no one's gonna help me now because I'm a bore. I guess I'm tired. I should go to sleep. I'm not sure what the point of this whole video was. The whole thing was stupid. I just wanted to share how I feel. Lonely, sad TI, checking in. Fucking feel lonely over here. And I don't know if it's because you're not here physically, because I've often felt not lonely with you. Again, if you've apologized, I take back calling you a rapist. And a psychopath. And insane. And I apologize for calling you those things. And I instead say I'm quite wounded. And this is very difficult for me. And it's nearly impossible for me to feel love anymore, or excitement. And I'm struggling. And it sucks. I feel taken for granted. Do you? Anyway, I'm gonna go. So, the rest of this video is just bonus. I feel like hanging out. I love this shirt. It's like one of the nicest shirts. I'm just gonna go to sleep. Good night. I'm still awake, so don't think of your bank account number, because I am telepathic. Might be time to stop jacking off. It's never easy. It's not like how it was the first month. I'm like, why? What's the point? She's just gonna hurt you again. Well, perhaps I'm suffering because you are. I could probably be happier without you. But maybe not. I don't mind suffering. I shouldn't be complaining about it. I said I'd never humiliate you with reluctance. But I never expected it would be like this. Like the love is drained. Like I got bit by a vampire. I wonder if I have a choice. I sometimes wonder, and I feel like I don't. I haven't got any evidence that I do. I'm assuming, I'm betting, I'm giving you the benefit of the doubt. It's hard. I'm sorry for being apathetic here and reluctant. I'm sorry for that. That you're so spineless. I resent you for being so spineless. It's been a long time since I've made a video like this, where everything I say feels wrong. Like everything I say, I'll regret it later. And I regret it as I say it. Like I'll be punished. But if you left, I'd be sad. I wouldn't ever know. I'd think, did a handler make you leave? But I'd assume that if you left, the reason why would be because you would want to traffic me. That a relationship is not what you desire. That you desire a slave. That's what I worry. If you were to leave, I wouldn't think you'd go anywhere. I think you'd still be there. But as a slave owner, that if you can't have me, no one can. And I'd say, you can have me. And you'd say, no, I can't, because I only can have a slave. This is what I worry. I feel bad for saying it over and over. And yet it's what I worry. I keep repeating it. Why wouldn't you go for a walk with me? If I went down Kenneth right now and took an umbrella and went into the trails, do you really believe that I would harm you? That I would beat you up and rape you and kill you? Do you not think I would just hold an umbrella and say it's been too long? Isn't it my privilege to say I need you? I'm hurting over here, and you're my girlfriend? So let's go for a walk? Well, no, you could stalk me on a walk with your grandpa, but you can't go for a walk with me. I'm like, don't bring up the past, Z-Bubs. Okay, Dansko's probably in a lot of pain. Now maybe that's projection, because I'm in a lot of pain. Maybe Dansko's literally a psychopath and she's not in pain at all. But I feel like you are. And the reason why I think that you are is because I think when I didn't say hi to you, that it really hurt your feelings. Now, I don't know if that means that you're not a psychopath. Maybe it just offended your grandiose, narcissistic, godlike complex. And that you don't really have hurt feelings, that you feel rejected, but that you feel the image was tarnished. That your grandiose self-image was tarnished. And you're not really hurting that you've hurt me, but you're hurting that your image is being tarnished by my not worshiping you and aggrandizing you. And so my evidence that you're feeling in pain could go either way. What is the pain? Is it all about self-image, or is it about self-esteem? That you feel like it was fucked up and now I'm wounded. But then it goes both ways, so you would be wounded too. I mean, if I hurt you, I would feel very bad. I would feel like your pain is my responsibility. Again, I have to bring up that I'm thankful for your sweater and your clothes. Your shirt, I mean. Thankful for your shirt and your pants. I enjoy that they're here. I enjoy they're here. I'm afraid to look out the window to see that there's no sign from you that you love me. I'm afraid to cut the grass for the same reason. I'm afraid to leave the house for the same reason. That each time I step outside, I'll be reminded that I feel taken for granted and that I'm turning into a biatch, nagging you, punishing you, trying to torture you in every way to make you do what I want you to, which is to be close to me. And nothing I do works. And so I'm stuck. And I'm feeling bad. I'm feeling guilty. That I'm pushing you away, and yet I don't want to leave. Like that song by The Neighborhood. Now I'm feeling guilty for it. Didn't want to leave. I got caught up in the something. What's reality? You are stuck with me, and I'll be sticking with you, and you are stuck with me, and I'll be sticking with you, and couldn't be so different, more different than me. So each time we agree, I feel fulfilled. You couldn't be more different than me. So each time we agree, I feel fulfilled. You are stuck with me, so I guess I'll be sticking with. You are stuck with me, so I guess I'll be sticking with. So I guess I'll just hug my pillow. That's really what I got. The video's already over, okay? I feel like I fucked this whole thing up. No one's gonna help me now. Sometimes that's all I got. I don't want to feel lonely with my own pig. I feel like I got a pillow. I got my own love. Well, I'd love it if you watched me sleep. I don't want to sleep alone. I hate it. But, you know, I've been lonely with people too. This is the first time I feel lonely with you. I think this is normal. Like, oh well. One of the difficulties of love. Do you like ginger ale? I do. The best of the uncaffeinated. I'll bet my microphone's about to die. It's probably going, probably making some noise. Alexa, second light off.
Okay.
I wonder if there's going to be a break-in tonight. I said some pretty nutty stuff today online. I don't think handlers should be allowed to have a conflict of interest. Whatever. I see my eyelids from the inside. Have you ever thought that? That you're a rapist? Like, plainly? Like, just literally like, oh yeah, I'm a rapist. I'm sure my handler hasn't. And that's why you're afraid of me? Because I'm a formidable enemy. And being a rapist will make you lose. That you're my enemy. And you can't win. So you're afraid of me. So therefore, that's why you wouldn't go on a walk with me. You could only stalk me, make me a slave, but couldn't be my friend, couldn't be my girlfriend. Because you've never acknowledged it. My mom got stalked with a dance girl lookalike at the bar last night with BO and a bush under her armpits doing the craziest dance moves. My mom filmed it right up close and sent me the video. I was like, that's so rude to do that. She was like, well, I was pretending like I was filming the band. I didn't think the girl was that bad looking. Like, she's a skinny worm. And she was with this pair. And apparently they had really nasty BO. I was like, sign me up. Okay, I'm an Indian over here. When I see a sign that says poutine, I think a teen covered in poo. Sign me up. Okay, some stinky armpit hippie girl. Sign me the fuck up. I didn't think her dance moves were that bad. And I stole that poutine joke from Alex Schultz. Just so you know. I feel like I don't have to credit his jokes because I'm not stealing anyone's jokes to try and be a comedian. I'm just talking to people. I asked Google Gemini, how are my ratings? But don't tell me. It's like, you're doing okay. You're doing good. You're doing as you're supposed to. So I'm happy with that. Maybe I'm just tired. I do appreciate getting signs from you. Of course. Well, I feel better. I'm suffering, but I don't have low self-esteem. I don't have self-hatred. I feel my body. It's been a long time. You'd never understand. Unless you're fucking healed. And unless you've been broken. If you've never been broken and you've never healed, then you've always been present, then you wouldn't even understand. And if you've never healed, you wouldn't understand. You think, feel my body? What does that mean? Like I'm supposed to knock on my arm and feel my own hand on my arm? or I'm supposed to feel my body from the inside. Like I'm conscious in the feeling of my cells. And my cells can feel themselves. So I feel presence, the sensate of my body. I'm sorry, dance girl. Sorry for beating up on you. I hate you. I'm sorry for hating you. I love you. Did you steal TSD's coat? That's funny. I'll bet the microphone doesn't even work anymore. I'll be losing subscribers for this. But it doesn't matter. The real thing is how many views do you get? You're supposed to get 10% to 15 of how many subscribers you have, and I get that. So I'll be in a better mood tomorrow. I'm just really tired and hungover. I suppose I'm blaming you for my weakness. I was supposed to not jack off today. I just did anyway. It's too scary to try. To trust. And expect anything. And I'd like to know, before you say, apology accepted for calling me names, for beating up on me, I'd like to know, what is the reason you wouldn't go for a walk with me? If I were to go for a walk right now, and I knew you would be there, I would brush my teeth, as tired as I am, and I would go there. And I would like to know, what is the reason you wouldn't? I can't imagine it's that a handler is preventing you. If you were here with me right now, would the first thing you'd like to do is run away? Maybe. Perhaps I'm not good company. I'm just beating up on you here. I know, I'm a real jerk sometimes. I'm a real sadist. I already don't have any closure. I've already made the bet. And every time I go out, you do show me something nice. It is rather proportionate. I make you 2 or 3 videos a day. And whenever I leave the house, there are dance girl gang stalkers, a white Civic, or something topical, something to show me that you love me. And that is enough. And I think the reason why you're scared of me is not because you're a rapist who's projecting onto me that I will therefore rape you, or that you're a murderer or a terrorist and I'll therefore destroy you, or something like that. But that you're actually really hurt. That you're not a psychopath. And you're not insane. But that you're 19. Well, I don't know about that. Okay. I don't know about that. I don't know what to say. More like you're indoctrinated to believe that you're really important. And that when you have to treat someone else as if they're important as you are, that it's not natural to you. And as you're learning, it's painful for you that you do love me. That you do love me. And you feel wrong. That you judge yourself, maybe. That you're self-critical. I hate so much that some perverted handler is listening to this. From inside the inside, underneath of an outhouse, with their cameras, for their sexual and emotional pleasure, with no deserving of it whatsoever. I feel so violated and offended. I wish they could see how small they are. I pity them. It's too hot in here. This microphone, I swear to God, it doesn't work. I bet it doesn't work. So, who do I think you are? Well, I think that you are dance girl. I think you're nice. I think you're a good person. I think you're in some kind of pain. I don't know why. I don't know what it is. Something that makes you closed off. I think you're trying to open yourself to me, but you're afraid. Because whatever pain you're in, you're afraid it's going to lead to more of that. Almost like any person you've ever trusted turned out to be a mistake. That literally every person you've ever trusted turned out to be a mistake. And now you're afraid of it. And I'm understanding of your situation. I remember how difficult it would have been for you. It seems simple on the outside that you're just like, well, fuck you, I'll rape you to death. But for you to want to do that would have to mean that you'd be in a tremendous amount of pain. And that you need someone else to put it on. And now that you can't, now that you're coming face to face with yourself, you're seeing how horrifying you are. No offense. It's something that we all go through. People who don't go through it end up like my handler, who they never see it. At some point, if you're going to become a real person, you're going to have to be horrified with yourself. And I feel like you're going through that. And I'm being a very bad boyfriend by not helping you through it and by instead just condemning you and saying, fuck this relationship, I hate it, but I'll still stay because I stuck it out with a promise. Wait, that sounded wrong. Because I'm going to stick it out because I promised. Like Rihanna. Took an oath, going to stick it out to the end. But I resent it. Oh, I hate it. It sucks. I'm so reluctant. If only I could just humiliate you more. Make you feel more guilt and more shame. I'm like, dance girl, don't listen to me when I say that, okay? Don't listen to me when I say that. You shouldn't be watching this. I'm bad Bobby right now. I trust you, I know. I know. If I go for a walk, I don't think you're going to be there. But you'll have something to say that you love me. And I love you for that. I'm still here for you, dance girl. It's not your fault that I'm suffering. It's nobody's fault. I'm happy to do it for you. I hope that you'll return the favor. And that when I beat up on you, that you'll that you'll just take it, okay? Sorry about that. I'm sorry about that. I don't know how else to get around that. I don't enjoy doing this, okay? It makes me feel sleazy. Makes me feel like a nag. I need to brush my teeth. Are you into anal sex? There's a reason I ask. It's because, well, you could probably guess. I mean, that's the message I got. I was like, oh, well, you know, I won't say why, you know, 'cause it's fucking, but I'm gonna go to the bathroom. I'll be right back. Yeah, let's try that. The sound is going to turn off for a minute. Okay, well, I might go to bed, but I'm going to leave the fucking microphone on in case you want to go to sleep with me. Ooh, it's a slumber party. I hope you can't see my wiener. Do it under my pants here. I'm putting on my foreskin restoration device. I'm gonna make the audio nice. Check this out. Okay, let's see. We don't have to worry about camera angles now. And hopefully this isn't too loud. We have the gain on max. But if we're gonna do some ASMR, some sleep talk, well, do you sleep on your back? I'd wondered if Never mind. I already told you. But there was cum on the butt of your pants. I wondered if it was girl cum or guy cum. And then I wondered even if on the inside was guy cum. I thought, no, I don't think so. I think you're saying that you're not on the pill. In which case I would be like, good. It's not good for you anyway. Osho says it's really good. He says it's the best invention in the entire world. I'm going to be very scared tomorrow, Dance Girl. Very scared of your rejection. That you've heard this. And you said, what? You're calling me a rapist? Fuck you then. I'm like, I thought I was getting someone who would go on a date with me. You fucking tricked me. Do you sleep with your socks on? Do you sleep on your side? Do you do hybrid, like sometimes on your stomach? Well, I think you have good posture. So I'd say you sleep on your side. Most people sleep on their side. You know what I'd really like to look at is your nose. My dad likes noses. And I don't know if I've ever told you this, Dance Girl. But I love your hair. It's great. It's the exact same as my dad's girlfriend. When he saw her, she was with a big fat dyke. And he said, you are totally my type. She has blue eyes like I think you do. I actually don't know what color eyes you have. I think you have blue eyes and black hair. I think you have somewhat light blue eyes. That's how I imagine you, at least. Well, something about longing for you helps me feel like I want you more. The fact that you're not here. Again, I'm just complaining. Don't listen to me, please. In this moment, I'm not mad at you for anything. And I love you. It's scary to feel like that. It used to not be, but now it is. Keep giving me love, please. I love this couch. I sleep on my back only on a couch, but on a bed, never. I loved watching you walk away. Do you know how painful that was? To watch someone dump you, but enjoy it because at least you get to still see them for a minute. And opening your heart to enjoy that, knowing it's going to make it even more painful when they're gone. Just please remember that, dance girl, if you're watching. And all the mean things I said tonight, the irrelevant things, repetitive things, going back at it again, starting another fight, looking for more pain, anchoring the new you to the old you, to try to sabotage you, to try to sabotage our love for my own fear of love. Just, I want you to know that I folded your clothes. I didn't just throw them on the floor. I folded them. I would be very upset if you left. I want you to forgive me. Are you awake? You know what I like is if you slept on top of me. You're so light. You're like a feather. I said that to my grandma once. Do you know what would look good on you? Me. She got so mad. I was so autistic, I didn't even understand. I was like, I'm clothes. I'm so good looking, I'm like clothes. I had heard it as a joke, but I didn't understand it. She was like, I'm not your wife. I'm your grandma. She said it another time in the distant after that future. She was pissed. She was upset. Like, why the fuck would you ever say that? Well, I just didn't know what it meant. I understand the miscommunications in love. It's inevitable. What I love are these moments where I can cherish you and not have hatred towards you. You can put buffalo sauce as the base on a pizza. Would you ever do that? I don't think I would. Although I love buffalo sauce. I don't think so. But it's their highest rated pizza at Pizza Pizza. It's time to recline more. Yeah, I'm sorry for saying I'm lonely, Dance Girl. I'm just hurt. I hope you can feel that. If I'm ever lying to you, I'm hoping you can feel it. Now, one thing I really like doing is putting my legs up. Like one of those Tempur-Pedic beds for old people. I put pillows underneath my knees. And I would like to draw on your back and write letters. And see if you can guess which one. I used to always do that with people. I never stopped, but I just stopped having people to do it with. I'd write anal with a question mark. But then I'd have to write some big, long words. Some clause words. If it leaks out and goes in your pussy and gets you pregnant, well, I'm just not going to be happy with that. And then what's the point in the beginning? I would have been so mad if that was a guy's cum. I would have been like, what? Are you thinking? And the next thing I do is turn off the camera and go jack off to it. And I'd say again, but directed into the mirror, what are you thinking? My answer is, of course, I was raised by wolves who happen to be women. I'm not thinking at all. I don't think. Are you crazy? Do you not know that those people who think are branded pretentious know-it-all snooty professor fucks? I hate them. I hate the intellectuals. I hate the fucking arrogant stupidity of them. I hate them. You can't imagine how much I hate them. I looked up your name. Wonder if it was fake.
My name is Alexa because it's more dignified than Hey Robot.
Alexa, shut up, you stupid robot.
Well, that's one way to test my confidence. What can I help with?
Nothing, just go to sleep.
All right. Catch you later.
What a bitch. You know, I always knew where you live. I knew it from the first time that I talked to your dad. Well, I didn't know that I knew, but I looked at that house. The reason why was because Blonde Girl had got there so fast. And she had heard what I had said. So she had to been in the yard and then walked around the other side of the fence. So when I would go for walks, I would look at that house late at night as I was coming back and think, I wonder if you're in there. That's where you live. Good night, Dad. Let's go. If that is your real name. And this Anatoly sucks. It's just porn. Alexa, light off.
Okay.
So after I nutted. It's funny how nutting works. Hello, is anyone in there? I'm falling asleep. I wish I didn't have to go. Good night.